Everybody, it's Dana, and welcome back to the channel. Today is the Hero Art My Monthly Hero Kit release for November 2023. So today's card, I am using the Classic Kit. And in the kit this month, you're going to get a mail art clear stamp set, 28 coordinating dies, 2 postage stamp frame fancy dies, 1 sheet of Hero Arts transfers, 27 assorted envelopes in red, craft, and white in sizes A1, A2, and A7, 10 sheets of blank washi paper, washi sticker paper rather, in a 6x6, and 4 wax seal stickers. So let's go ahead and get into the card. So for my inks today, I'm using Forever Green, Moss, Cherry, and Pale Tomato. And I'm going to first start off with this gorgeous stencil. Now this stencil is in the premium kit. So I'm mixing the kits together. Now that is the great part about having a premium kit and a classic kit because they work perfectly together. I am using the color layering snowflake stencil, and this, like I said, is out of the premium kit, but I love mixing my kits. So this is 2 layers. I'm starting with the first layer and I'm placing that down onto a grip mat so it holds my stencil in place. So we're going to do some easy ink blending with this. I have 2 colors of red. So first going to come in with my pale tomato. This is going to be the lightest of my reds. And I am just going to use a larger blending brush here and pull in some of that softer red. I'm not going very heavy-handed with this. I just want to add in a nice soft layer of red. Now, if you wanted to, you can come in really, really heavy-handed here if you wanted to and really build up your color, but I'm going to keep it soft for today. Next, I'm going to come in with my cherry ink. And this is where I'm going to deepen up some of that red. Now, if you only had one color red, you could totally do a really nice soft layer and then come back in after that first layer is down and add a little bit more red to it. So I'm going to peel back and I can see just a faint color shift on here. So I'm going to grab a smaller blending brush and pull in some more of that darker cherry in just little areas in which I want it. I don't want to cover everything up, but I do want to be able to have a little bit of a gradation between my 2 colors of reds. Once I'm done with red, I can go ahead and set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and brush away a little bit of that ink that's on my stencil so it does not bleed into my green. I do want a little soft gradation, so I am going to add just a tad bit of ink that's left on my blending brush and pull that into the next part of the stencil. This is going to have those colors meet up nicely. Now I'm coming in with a light hand with the moss ink and I'm bringing it up to that red. Now, because I'm using a very soft hand with this, I'm not getting a muddy brown between the 2 shades. Next, I'll come in with my Forever Green, add in a little bit of that, because remember, I want a little bit of a gradation between those 2 colors of green. Now, again, if you didn't want to do this, you could totally skip this part. I do come right back in with a smaller blending brush just to blend on a little bit more of that Forever Green so it can have that transition of colors. Once I am done, I can go ahead and peel this back, but I want to make sure that everything is blended. So I'm just going to take a look. I'm going to go right back to that moss and just add a few more touches to this. Before I add in that, I just want to clean off my mat just a little bit, or my stencil rather, just a little bit. And then I'm going to pull in just a little bit more of that lighter green, just to make sure that I have full coverage over the entire stencil. I'll go ahead and add a little bit more of red, just to make sure there's good coverage for every area that I stenciled here. Alrighty, now it is time for the peel and reveal, which is the perfect ending to ink blending. It's just to see how pretty your ink blending is. So you can see those colors are blended very nicely together. I didn't get a muddy brown between the green and the red. It just looks perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add this into my Misty. And now we're going to go ahead and stamp the mailbox from the classic kit. Again, mixing your kits, you're really able to stretch your design. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right in the center. I can go ahead and press down. And now I'm going to go ahead and ink this right in the center of this. So I'm using my Hero Arts Intens-ified black ink. And stamping this in the middle is going to give me a little bit of a focal point. Now, if you didn't want to have something in the middle of this, you can just add a sentiment and not have anything that needs to be colored. I decided that I wanted something to color, and I thought this mailbox fit perfectly right in the center. Now, I did stamp that just a few times to get a nice crisp black line. Now, all the products I'm using today are going to be linked down below, just in case you want to purchase some of these items. I am using my Olo markers here in 2 shades of red, 2 shades of green. Now, I did really simple coloring here. Nothing fancy, nothing hard. You guys know me. I do like to color, but when I'm making tutorials, I don't want to color anything that might be a little bit overwhelming, even for a beginner. So I like to just do simple coloring when I'm doing my tutorials. Now, if I need something that's really in depth in coloring, I can make those tutorials as well. But I always want to make sure to have it so it's user friendly for somebody who might just be starting a different medium like alcohol markers or even watercoloring. So I did lay down a flat color of the red, and then I just went back in with the darker shades and just added a little bit of depth right around certain areas. And then I just like to blend everything back out with the lighter color. As you can see, also this image is small, so I don't really have to fuss too much with the coloring, but I do want to make sure that I have a little bit of gradation between the two reds. Now I'm going to come in with my greens and I'm going to go ahead and start doing up my package. Again, this is a very small image, so I don't have to do a lot of fussing with a whole bunch of shading, but I do want to have a little bit of a gradient between my colors. Now, if you did not have alcohol markers, I could totally suggest that you can watercolor this image if you like, or even use color pencils. Totally up to you. Even sometimes if you want to use a Sharpie, you can also use a Sharpie. All right, I have all of that down, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that green because I forgot that there's a package in the mailbox, and that has to be colored as well. Now I'll come in with my 2 shades of brown, and then I can go ahead and color up the post. Again, easy coloring here. If you want it to be a little bit more jazzed up, it's totally up to you. Create what makes you happy. I'll come in with a little bit of shading right underneath that mailbox. And then we have a gorgeous image. I mean, how cute is this? And those greens and reds match perfectly to our ink colors. Again, all of the colors that I'm using as far as the markers are concerned are going to be in the description box below. Next, I came in with a gold metallic pen. Now, I cannot remember where I got this pen from, but if you can find any small pointed metallic pen, you can go ahead and add in some gold accents. If you don't have gold, grab a silver one. If you wanted to just leave it white, you could totally do that as well. I just wanted to add just a little bit of gold because I'm going to be adding something a little bit later that's going to pull that gold in. Now for the white parts of my envelope, I just added a very, very light gray. This is the W0, and it just adds a little bit of color to that white. All right, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you like to, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of my cards. And I'm also going to be starting my holiday card series, so you don't want to miss that. All right, next I'm coming in with that next stencil. Remember, there's 2 stencils, and I'm going to use some of my Hero Arts paste. This is the gold paste, and I love it. So remember, I had the gold earlier when I did my mailbox. Now I'm bringing in a little bit more gold, and by using this paste on that second layer, oh, this is like a chef kiss. I love this paste. It works so well and it dries relatively quickly as well. So I'm just coming in and adding some of that with my palette knife, just making sure to hit each and every area. I'm also trying to keep this consistent as far as the amount I put on here. Now, if you are very heavy-handed, that's okay. It's just going to take a little bit longer for your paste to dry. If you wanted to skip this part and maybe do like the clear paste on top or the glitter paste would be gorgeous. Again, do what makes you happy. My only tip is to when you're putting on any of these pastes or the glitter paste, just try to have an even hand. So everything is going to dry evenly and you won't have like hills and valleys, if that kind of makes sense. I make sure to scrape off any excess that I have. I put it right back into my jar. Now, a good tip here is if you're going to have this out for a little while, I just went ahead and put on a baby wipe just to keep it from not drying out. And I also made sure to clean off my palette knife. I always believe if you're good to your tools will be good to you. Now it is peel and reveal. And look how gorgeous this looks. It's so pretty. This color is just gorgeous. Now I am going to pick this up very, very gently because I want to bring this up to the camera so you can just see how gorgeous that paste is. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm also going to make sure to clean off my stencil. Now, since this is all done, everything is dried, I wanted to add a little bit more to this. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some powder down. This is the anti-static powder. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to add some glitter to this, but I don't want the glitter to stick everywhere. So just dusting this off with that powder is going to help that glitter not go everywhere. I'll go ahead and bring in a piece of paper to catch my glitter. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a fine tip bottle with some glue. And everything that would be like a snowy effect, I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to that. Because come on, you guys, we're doing those holiday cards and we want them to be nice. And a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of gold paste really does add up the liveliness of our cards. So once I have that down, I'm going to grab some very, very fine glitter. You can see it's almost like a very fine salt, I guess. And I'm going to place that everywhere that I put down that glue. Now, I didn't use a lot of glue, so this is going to dry relatively quickly. I'll just flick off any I have left on my hands right on there because, you know, we don't need to waste anything, right? Just put it on the card. And then I can go ahead and tap off any excess. And we're going to have this gorgeous shimmery snow. It just looks so pretty. And that's just some added bonuses that you can do for your cards. Now everything is dry and I love this so much. I really did not want to put a sentiment on that. And guess what? That's okay when you're making your holiday cards. If you just get this right here in the mail, you're going to kind of know it's a holiday card, right? Or a winter card, let's say. But I did not want to put any sentiment on here that was going to distract from all of this prettiness we have going on here. So I am just using a Dove White card base here and lining that up. And this is going to cover my entire card front. And look how gorgeous that is. And that is with the classic kit and the premium kit. Now, here is the card I made earlier in the week using just the premium kit. All right, everybody. I hope you guys really like these cards. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in another video soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.